Hello and welcome to the Midday News on TVC. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo. The Ahmed Makarfi-led National Caretaker Committee of the People's Democratic Party PDP has won the battle for the soul of the party. The Supreme Court declared Makarfi the authentic chairman of the party and also awarded it 250,000 naira. In delivering the lead judgment, Justice Bode Rhodes Viver said Alimodu Sharif, who had been contesting the chairmanship with Makarfi, displayed infantile desperation to cling to office. In the course of the leadership tussle, Sharif had more than 10 suits against Makarfi. Many prominent members of the party were in court today.
What I will say to Sharif Khan is that there are still members of the PDP. They have said before that whatever decision the Supreme Court gives, that are going to abide to it and remain. And I still urge them to keep to their words. And all other people that were all members of the same party, let everybody come together and move forward against 2019.
This represents hope and future for Nigeria. The attempt to silence opposition has come to an end today. And by the grace of God, the party is set for victory in 2019.
Victory for democracy. Victory for the rule of law. Democracy won today. We will survive as Nigerians. This democracy will survive.
We are excited. We congratulate the justices because they've judged correctly and they've set in motion a new powerful process of democracy in Nigeria. We want to congratulate all our members right across the Federal Republic of Nigeria that democracy has come to stay. The PDP is alive. The PDP will move. The PDP will take over.
We are very happy. It's one party. They are brothers and sisters. They must go back home and work together as a team. Nobody is rejoicing over the other. The judgment is correct. This is the Supreme Court. There's nowhere else to go. They must be reconciled to the judgment, be reconciled to one another, and come together and work together as a party for the good of the nation.
And the man who is now the PDP party chairman says the party will have its candidates in Asorok Villa in 2019.
There is not going to be victimization. We are going to pursue genuine reconciliation with members that are willing to be reconciled, but all in the overall interest of the party, not imposing anybody on the rest of the people. There is not going to be any victimization because somebody had one opinion or the other. We will try to reconcile the party and make it stronger and stronger. We'll be back in power 2019. That is what is next, and that is what we are going to work on.
TVC News correspondent Samna Sambo joins us now from the Wadata Plaza, the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja. Samna, good to have you at this time. Apparently, it was a rousing atmosphere there at the courts. Tell us how it went down.
Well, the court was filled with, top leaders of the party from both sides of the divide. Earlier on in the morning, we had Dr. Cairo Ojogbo leading the team from the Sharif angle to the Supreme Court, where they were noisy, they sat separately from others, and they were all hopeful that this will go their way. And meanwhile, we also had the likes of Governor Wike of Rivers State, Governor Ayofa of Ekiti State, alongside Makarfi, the National Caretaker Committee Chairman, and other top shots of the party seated on the left side of the Supreme Court, and they were also hoping that this will go their way. But I can tell you that it was a somber atmosphere when Justice Bode Rhodes Viver was reading this judgment. Now, when Justice Bode Rhodes Viver was reading this judgment, you could feel a pin drop silence right there in the court, and immediately it was announced that the activities of the National Convention Committee of the PDP, as it was then on May 21, 2016 was correct and that they had correctly sacked Sheriff, the atmosphere changed. And of course, the Makarfi-led National Caretaker Committee started jubilating. And in fact, they did not even wait for the Justice of the Supreme Court to complete his judgment before the entire courtroom erupted. And of course, they came and they attended to us. So it was a wonderful occasion. But one thing that is going on for both of them is that both leaders of the party are calling for reconciliation at the moment.
I see that you were able to speak to leading members of the Makarfi faction. Were you able to get the reaction of the Sheriff faction, particularly Dr. Cairo Jubo, after the Supreme Court verdict?
While Sheriff was not in court, he was represented by his deputy, Dr. Cairo Jubo, like I said. So before the judgment could be completed, before it could be concluded, he actually left the court with the lawyers of the Sheriff faction as it stands right now, and we were not able to get hold of them. We tried our best as reporters to get across to them or try to look for any of them around, but it just looked like they disappeared from the court, because we were wondering, with the retinue of lawyers that came and the officials of the then Sheriff-led PDP, we thought that at least one or two of them would have stayed behind to address us. But what we hear is that they are planning a press conference where they will sit and relay what they think about this judgment to Nigerians. But as it stands right now, the Makarfi-led National Caretaker Committee has taken possession of the People's Democratic Party Secretariat, the Wadata Plaza, which before today was occupied by the Alimodu Sheriff-led PDP national executive, as it was then, because they had a court judgment at the Court of Appeal which made them to take possession of this property. But immediately after the judgment, the Makarfi-led National Caretaker Committee came to take possession of it, and right now the workers were jubilating, party supporters were jubilating, and many political stalwarts also came in here, especially the PDP state chairman who traveled from different parts of the country to come and celebrate with the caretaker committee that has now emerged as the National Executive Committee of the party, pending an appropriate national convention that will see the election of a new chairman of the People's Democratic Party.
Now, Sumner, automatically, this Supreme Court verdict lays to rest every other suit against the Makarfi faction brought against him by the Sheriff faction.
Yes, I asked Makarfi myself if he, as the leader of the party now, is going to bring out some punitive measures against the faction that fought very hard against them, that is the Alimodu Sheriff faction. But he said no, that is not going to happen, that his focus on the PDP is on the PDP right now, and the major thing is reconciliation, reconciliation, and reconciliation. So when I insisted if indeed he's going to punish some of these persons, he said no, that PDP is set on winning the 2019 general election, and nothing is going to stop him from ensuring that the PDP gets a leadership that will dethrone the ruling people, All Progressives Congress. So as it stands right now, just like Kanu Agabi, the lawyer of the of the Makarfi faction said, which is now the recognized party leadership, they are focusing on reconciliation. But don't forget, there are some important words that were used by the lead Supreme Court justice that delivered this judgment. That's Justice Bode Rosvivo, who said that Sheriff, in trying to institute over 10 cases, was becoming like a desperado, that he actually instituted these cases knowing fully well that the Makarfi-led faction behaved very well by following the party's constitution. So as a result of that, there is no reason why he should have gone ahead to institute multiple cases, which now made the party to be colliding almost with judges, because you have so many judges delivering all sorts of judgments, which is not good for the image of the judiciary. So he actually had very strong words for Sheriff. But with all of this now, it is left to be seen if the PDP can put its house in order to organize a befitting national convention that will lead to the emergence of a new party chairman that will steer the party into the 2019 general elections.
Sumner Sambo, our correspondent, reporting from the Wadata Plaza of the People's Democratic Party. and he says they've taken possession of that party following the Supreme Court verdict, which has given victory to the Makarfi faction of the People's Democratic Party, putting an end to the leadership tussle of the party, which has run for more than a year now.